Hey, this is Steven from Legit PC, and today we are going to review Takedown Red Sabre. So I'm going to do just a quick review of this game, under 10-minute review. So first we're going to jump into display settings, which there pretty much is none. You just pick medium or high, and then turn VSync on or off. I just left it off, didn't have any problems with tearing, so I would highly suggest leaving it off. Anyways, this is a pretty simple, $15 game, didn't cost too much money. It was originally kickstarted, got over $220,000 worth of funding, and it's basically a tactical first-person shooter where you get shot like 3 times and you die, whether it's campaign or multiplayer. And I'm not going to show, I only have this, which is my extra footage. If you guys want to see the multiplayer, then go check out the multiplayer on my day 1 video. It hasn't changed much. Anyways, so this is, I'm basically going to get right into it. This game was a pretty big fail. I checked, the reason why I don't have any extra multiplayer footage is this right here is 60 frames per second on my shadow play, and I would have done that and got some nice, better multiplayer footage. But you go onto there, and they have 16 servers with no players on any of them. I think they had maybe like not 16 probably for only team deathmatch. They have 4 different modes, no one's playing a single mode. So yeah, basically the game's pretty much dead. It just had too many bugs, too many things messed up. You couldn't play it on day 1. It took like a year to develop at past the Kickstarter point. I wasn't a Kickstarter person to fund the project, but I heard that they were pretty mad as far as what they got, especially when they're going to a certain demographic that likes these particular types of games. The tactical first-person shooter, where it doesn't have any heads-up display besides your ammo. It doesn't tell you where the enemies are. It doesn't have a mini-map. Doesn't show you where your objectives are. You basically have to look for everything. But past that, I mean, it plays good. There's not, some crazy glitches. Of course, the biggest thing that people say is the AI is absolutely stupid. The enemies are alright, but your teammates are just completely idiotic. Like, I think this is probably the first AI that I've seen perform this badly. They basically, they'll crowd a doorway. You go through a door, and then you turn around to go out of the room, and they're standing in front of the door, and now you're trapped in. Sometimes you can get out, it would take a while, and you have to push them out of the way, and eventually they get out of the way. And most of the time, just like that, just like you saw right there, I shot the hard drive, turn around, they're all crowded right next to you. And most of the time they won't actually even kill somebody, let alone, they are pretty good at calling somebody out, but right there, didn't call that guy out in the room and totally went around the corner, didn't even see him. But the enemy AI is alright. Sometimes like they'll see you and then they'll just go and do their own thing and totally forget they saw you. They'll just go back to pacing hallways. But sometimes they'll be pretty smart and shoot through windows and stuff. But you see here that that it is pretty fun and tactical at some points. But I mean, when you're facing AI like that, and when you have this kind of AI as your team, I mean, we're getting shot at, and they're just calling them out, not shooting at anybody. But, the sound is decent. Other than that, the gameplay is alright. There's plenty of guns. As you see, I got killed there. Have no clue from where. And then here I have an SMG with a red dot, not a red dot sight, but I forget what that sight's called. Anyways, other than that, basically what this game is worth to the public now is if you like this game, you played the single player, or you like what you see here in the video, this is a good game to get into if you're looking for servers with no other gamers on it. Play your own, host your own servers, and is peer-to-peer, person-to-person, right? Servers, so there's hosts. Basically, it's not dedicated servers, so you can play with your friends. This is a big game to play with your friends. Be competitive, do tournaments or whatever. It'd probably be a good game for something like that. But other than that, I mean, it's pretty difficult to play, and depends on whether you like it or not. Otherwise, you could just spend the extra money on Call of Duty or whatever, even though that doesn't play as great either. Probably wait for when Battlefield 4 goes down in price and just buy that. But I mean, it plays good. It reminds me, but it's of quality to where like it's of a quality that you would usually see in like a free to play game. Like one of my friends introduced me to Tactical Intervention, similar gameplay, similar look. Even that HUD for the crouch is exactly the same. I think even in that other game, except for there's healing and there's actually a following for it, and also another glitch right there where every time they go past a door they have to open it. So if you're really looking for a game like this with a multiplayer following, I would check out Tactical Intervention. I'll do something like that when I run out of other games that I need to review. I'll review all my other games that I have backed up right now, and then I'll start doing some free-to-play coming here towards the holiday season. But it would be a nice game to have some tournaments in, and have, because there's not going to be any hackers because there's just not very popular, so they're not going to try to do hacks for it. And I think that if it did happen to gain some steam back, that the developers will definitely follow it. Sorrellin, I think, definitely wants to stay in the game. I hope they don't want to fall off after this not so great release. I think instead of going to IGN and stuff like that and showing it off, they should have definitely worked on the game a little better. I mean, even if you look in a lot of other places, the game wasn't received very well because of the bugs in the AI. But other than that, I mean, the damage is good. It's a very good tactical game to play, but it would be a lot better if you had co-op. I mean, it's a killer co-op game. You have your friends rather than these AIs. That's what it was built for. It wasn't built for you to play single player and have your AIs follow you around. It's built for that multiplayer experience, but the multiplayer that it was sitting behind just had too many bugs on day one, so it just kind of fell flat. It was similar to like Medal of Honor. Medal of Honor was a great game, but just the multiplayer had too many bugs. So now there's not going to be any Medal of Honors anymore, I don't think. Which is pretty similar. I mean, it's similar to a Rainbow Six game, except for Rainbow Six had a little bit more stuff and strategy and whatnot built into it. And there you saw that my guys are just sitting there getting shot. Now I'm down. I died once there, and another guy died and didn't do anything, and now I'm on my last guy. That is a sniper rifle. Yeah, I die here in a little bit, so we'll get into the conclusion. Okay, alright, so that's basically the end of the footage I have. If you want to see some of the other footages, look at the day one or my multiplayer day one of this game, Takedown Red Sabre. So I'm going to go into my final thoughts. So it's a great game, but it just doesn't have any single player value, and all of its inertia that it had going into the game from its $220,000 worth of backing and huge amount of people that got into this game, it just lost it. Especially even how they set up their Kickstarter campaign was just not, and I'm a huge Kickstarter fan. It just was not set up correctly to really build up steam and get a lot of the early backers early, and it really pissed a lot of people off. But I mean, it's a great game for its co-op value and for its multiplayer value. Because of some of the cool things it has on its multiplayer, some of it's pretty good map design, and it's obviously huge characteristic of you dying very quickly is also has that not a lot of games have, especially with this price tag that maybe in a month or maybe even now it's like $5. I don't know really what it is now. You could probably find it on Steam for a pretty good deal, or a Green Man Gaming or whatever. I think I just bought it from Steam. Pretty sure I bought it from Steam. Anyways, definitely a great game. I mean, unless you want, I wouldn't get it. Obviously, it's a dead game. There's no one playing it. So if you don't have any friends that like this type of game, and you don't have any people that you know that do play it, or people that you could get to buy it and then play it with you, it's pretty much a dead game. But I think it has some tournament value if someone were to put a tournament platform on it and played it that way, because of just it'd probably be very, very good to watch. It'd be a very cool game to watch people compete in, and that's, probably one of its biggest strengths. And I think they did even have tournaments for it back when it had, a popular following, but it was still filled with bugs. So if you don't fit those two requirements, you have some friends that already play it, or you had some friends that you could get to get into playing it, then I wouldn't get it. Definitely want to skip over unless you want to compete in a tournament in it or whatever, because it doesn't have any single player. It doesn't have any single player value, and it does have multiplayer value, but there's no one playing the multiplayer, so it's pretty much dead. I'd pass on over it and look for something like the free to play tactical intervention that's similar. That's from the creators of Counter-Strike, very similar to this type of game. So this has been Steven from Legit PC, and this is my review of Takedown Red Sabre from Sorellen. Like I said, if you didn't meet those two requirements, I would skip over it. Don't worry about it. So if you like my videos, please subscribe for more videos like it. Thank you for watching. Take it easy, and stay tuned for my next video.